The best change right in front of your eyes story regarding the Mandela effect that I've ever heard comes from Greg. It's so incredible. I asked him to just record an MP3 and send it to me, and I'll put it in this video. The Wizard of Oz changed right in front of his eyes. And when I've talked about it with Greg, I don't know if he's clear on this in the presentation, but the reality, just like we talked about a few minutes back, it didn't recognize what that file was. And only when Greg called attention to it did it almost realize it had skipped over it and then changed it right on the fly, right when Greg was looking at it.
Hello, folks. This is Greg, the notorious Greg that Matt mentions every now and then. Matt and I have been friends now for about 4.5 years or so, and we talk on the phone quite often. We collaborate on things. We bounce ideas off each other. He asked me to tell you about what my personal Mandela effect, the biggest one that I had, the one that affected me the most, which would have been the first one. And it really was really a bad experience for me. Um, First of all, to give you a little background, I am a huge Pink Floyd fan. And of course, in the early 90s, I had a copy of The Wizard of Oz and a CD of Dark Side of the Moon. And, you know, back then it was you start the movie in the VCR, and on the third roar you're supposed to start the CD of Dark Side of the Moon, and it's supposed to sync up. Never could get it just right, so anyway, somewhere in the late 90s, uh, on the computer, I created, excuse me, I created my own version, which was synced up perfectly. I named the file something like Dark Side of Oz. I don't remember exactly anymore because it's been so long ago. And it was stored on an old hard drive, an old external hard drive. I did create a DVD out of it for me to watch whenever I was inclined. Uh, First found out about the Mandela effect regarding the Wizard of Oz in probably about 2017 or so. And I saw pictures online of the forest scene where all of a sudden you have this gigantic butterfly net, a pipe wrench, and a pistol. And, at first you think, well, this is doctored or something, or this may have been an extra scene and, somebody just found it and taken a picture and put it up. So I go fish out the old VHS copy of Wizard of Oz that we had, I think this version I had bought for my kids to watch. And I watch it and get to the forest scene, and all of a sudden everything has changed. It is exactly as I've seen online. There's a pistol, there's this gigantic pipe wrench, and this gigantic butterfly net, which I never remember being there. Ever. It's never been there. I've watched this movie too many times. I grew up watching this movie. It used to come on every year about Easter time. Uh, and I'm 53 years old now, so I've seen the movie. I don't know. I couldn't count how many times. But it struck me odd that all of a sudden on this VHS copy that I had bought, bought the kids somewhere in the mid 90s, that all of a sudden it's completely different from what I remember. And I felt weird about that. So I decided that I would get my version out the one that I had made that has doesn't have the audio for the movie. It just has the Dark Side of the Moon on it synced up to it. So I go looking through a bunch of old hard drives and I find it. And I watch this and everything all of a sudden, everything is perfect. It's right. It's not been changed. There's no pistol. There's no butterfly net. There's no pipe wrench. It's exactly as it should have been, the way I remember it. Now, this is the first time that I had run into this Mandela effect stuff personally, as far as anything personally happening to me. So, but the thing is, once I run this file and it's on the computer, so I'm running this file and everything's fine. Well, I take a screenshot. I hit the print screen key. And then while I do that, I minimize the movie. I open up PaintShop Pro 7, which was the program I was using back then at the time. I still use it now, but I use GIMP mostly. And I did a Control V and pasted it in there. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Same thing. There's no net, there's no pistol, there's no pipe wrench. Alright, so I minimize that. Bring the movie back up. Or the file. Open it up, back up. Back it up. Play it again. And all of a sudden, right before my eyes, there's a butterfly net, there's a pipe wrench, and there's a pistol. I mean, it was just a couple of minutes ago that was not there. And this is in a file that I created. This is not the VHS tape, which I could have misremembered. I had just saw that this was correct. So then I said, okay, well, at least I've got screen print evidence. So I minimize the movie, bring up the PaintShop Pro 7 again, and all of a sudden, now the image that I had just taken a screenshot of, it is as it is today. What did not have the pistol in it, it did not have the butterfly net, and it did not have the pipe wrench in it. Now all of a sudden, the picture is completely different. The screenshot is different. It has those things in it. Now, when this happened to me, this was somewhere around late 2017. When this happened to me, it freaked me out. I mean, it's a scary feeling. It's actually a terrifying feeling. You get goosebumps. You get that little shiver that goes up your spine. The hair stands on your neck. Because all of a sudden you realize that something supernatural has taken place. And you realize that there are some type of forces in this world that you just got a real lesson in regarding how true that is. That something else exists other than what you know to be fact. And that something can actually change things right in front of your eyes. And when this happened to me, it freaked me out. I was freaked out for quite a while.